really starting to have me do a lot of things, and he wants me to have distractions, and he will not. He will not do it. He will not give it. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm making this video because God instructed me to, but I'm doing I haven't did my morning routine, so y'all just going to do all that stuff with me this morning. But yeah, but I came on here to say, we talked about accountability and my mental health piece last week. Was that last? Yeah, that was last week. And I'm someone who is definitely not ashamed to hold herself accountable for the things that I have done and the things that I will do, because I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that I want to do anything that is not honoring God, but again, I'm perfect. I forgot to put the top back on my trash can when I took it out. Let me prop y'all right here because I'm finna make up my bed. But and I'm just somebody who's starting to, I mean, God told me, I'm gonna be honest, he told me to mute my tongue with a lot of stuff, and that's literally what I have been doing. And it's just allowed me to hear what people truly feel without me looking. Because the old me would look for, you saying this, but I feel like this about you. I would do that a lot. And with me muting my tongue, it just allowed me to actually hear what others may see within me. And if I can relate to it and feel like, okay, yeah, I do see that I do that. It just causes me to actually look inside myself instead of looking at others with me muting my tongue. So I'm so grateful for God for telling me to do that, because it opened up my eyes to a lot. And I'm gonna be all over the place because I have a whole lot to say. I have a whole lot to say this morning, unless something happens where I just have to get, stop recording. But I ain't even fixing that pillowcase. Yes, I am. Because I'm working out of my room, so I'm going to be looking at it and it's going to be bothering me. So let me fix this. Okay. But, what was I talking about? But yeah, just holding myself accountable. So I definitely had to stop looking at others and figuring out what did they do to make me do what I did, and all of that stuff. And it's like it's not even worth it, first of all. And I'm not worried about the next person. I'm worried about Camila and what I need to work on to make myself better. And what I'm about to say right now, I talked about it too in my video, my little clip that I did this morning. It's like a 15-minute video, y'all. But I talked about this too, because I'm somebody, you guys know I'm a mother. A lot of you only see my youngest daughter most of the time, but I do talk about my my oldest daughter as well. I have a 22-year-old, and then I have I'm gonna lower this because I'm gonna sit down and talk to y'all for a little bit. And then I have my 11-year-old, and I'm gonna set up my light, y'all, because I did get a light, because my daughter bought me one when I first started. I think this will probably work right here. But when I first started, and my light disappeared along with other stuff, but that's neither here nor there. But cutting on the light, y'all, because it just makes things look better for me. I like the way it looks with the light, but it looks a lot See y'all, that looks so much better. I have to lower this down a little bit more. And I'm just going to bring it up. And pull y'all down. Guess like right there. And I don't fold it up this blanket, but y'all already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my blanket so I can talk to my family on this morning before I start my day. But, okay, I was talking about my daughter. So, yes, I have a 22-year-old. I have my 11-year-old. And then I had my bonus son that was in a home with me that's no longer in the home with me, or whatnot. But I'm saying all this to say that our kids do choose their path that they want to go on when they're adults. And I don't think I have shared this with anyone on here. I mean, I know I've shared it like with, like, my family knows and stuff like that. But, oh, y'all, I'm doing good with time and we can talk. My family knows and friends know and stuff like that. But my oldest daughter is gay. She's gay. I don't think I've said it on this platform. I don't think I've said it at all. I think she said it on the video when we went to vote. Is that what I want for her? Definitely not. But does that mean I have to kick her out of my house and tell her she doesn't need to be here and I don't love her anymore? No, she knows how I feel about it, but I accept her for who she is. But people like to put judgment on you and your children, and that's really what I'm about to talk about. You cannot judge me. You cannot judge me. And I'm saying all this because sometimes people start throwing judgments at you and then you end up trying, oh, well, I can't go to church. I can't be Christian. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, my child is, but that's her life. That's what she chooses to do. And if I birthed 25 kids and all of them choose to go that route, then I'm still going to love all 25 of them. I am. It's not for me to judge them. That's for God to judge them. I can't judge them for that. And I'm not going to give up on my children, because I was one way 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago that I'm not today. Everybody can change, and everybody has a right to do what they want to do. And if I see a gay person walking down the street, I'm not judging them. Do I hope they get themselves right with Christ? Most definitely. But I'm not judging them. I love them like I love any other human being. If my friend turns out gay, doesn't mean I'm not going to be your friend anymore. And I do have friends that are gay, and I love them with everything in me. And most of them are great people. It's just that they're choosing to go down a path that God doesn't want us to go down. But I do believe that there's man and woman and not woman and woman and man, but I cannot judge that. And I'm not turning my back, especially on my child, because of what they choose to do. And is my child still living in my home? Yes. Do I talk to my child about it? Yes, I do. But she is still living in my home. She know I would rather her be doing it the opposite way. But I'm not giving up on her because of that. And I'm saying, and it's not just that. Our children do all of these things. We have kids that had babies at 14 or had babies out of wedlock. Do that mean you stop loving your child and you put your child out of the house? A lot of Christians do that. I'm not that Christian. I am not that person that's going to turn my back on my children because they're choosing to walk down a path that I don't necessarily agree with them walking down. I'm not that parent. Like, I'm always going to be here for my children. And God, what does God want us to do? He wants us to draw the people close to him that are not drawn close to him. And so me turning my back on you is not me doing God's work. Me sticking with you and steady telling you what's right and how you should be doing it and loving you for who you are in that moment is what God wants me to do. We want to welcome people into the Lord's house that are people that are not of God just yet. Those are the people that we should be drawn to, not turning ourselves away from. And I think people get that. It's so irritating, y'all. It is so, I swear, it is just so irritating when you start building a relationship with God and then people are, well, you supposed to be a Christian, but you was doing this. You supposed to be a Christian, but your kids doing this. You supposed to be a Christian, but you listen to this. You're supposed to be a Christian. Why are you, what are you doing? You have all this to say about what I'm supposed to be and how I'm doing this and and you did this back in the past. I did back in the past. I was a mess. Yes, I have a daughter that's gay. I do. And okay, but does that mean that I don't love God and God doesn't love me and God doesn't love my child? No, that does not mean that. And I'm frustrated with it. It's irritating. It's aggravating. Like, stop throwing around my beliefs to me to make it like I'm supposed to be God. I'm not God. I am not God. My children are not God. We're all growing. Everybody has something that they need to work on. So he who casts just stop all of that looking at everybody else and look at yourself. That's the bottom line, the easy way to put it. Stop focusing on what everybody else is doing and how everybody else is screwing up. What are you doing? Hold yourself accountable. I'm not going around telling nobody, oh, you can't say nothing about this, or you can't speak to God, Lord. You can't speak the Lord's word because you doing this. I would never do that. Whoever wants to pour the Lord up into somebody and pour into somebody something positive, do it. Do it, because it's not just saving them, it's also saving you. So that's basically what I'm here to say. I'm just tired of all of the judgment. I'm tired of all the judgment, and I'm speaking about everybody, but mainly on me. I am who I am. I have done stuff in my past, but I am who I am. And it's not about where I was, it's where I'm at now. That's all that I'm focused on. And I don't need people around me that's going to be doing all of that sneaky, in your heart, you feel some type of way about me, but in my face, you're acting like, oh, I'm so proud of you. I don't need people like that in my life. And if that's what you're here to do, is like just be of the devil, because that's definitely what it is, you're getting removed. And I guess people think I'm playing when I say that. Like, I will remove you in a minute from my life. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. Okay, now we're going to cut that, move to the next topic, which is this one. Okay. Next thing I'm going to talk about is kind of tied into that, holding yourself accountable. I kind of talked about it too when I was doing my little cleanup. I really thought I had a lot more that I had to clean up, but I didn't. But holding yourself accountable, like if you're somebody who always pointing at the other person, they do this, they do that, and it gets so draining. Like, and I was once that person. All of my friends and people that I was talking to, I know I was getting on y'all nerves because, like, girl, what are you doing though? What are you doing? You started talking about this other person, but what are you doing? And that's what I had to do. I had to stop thinking about what the other people were doing, that I was like, oh, and they did this and they did that. I had to just stop and start saying, what did you do? Period. Period. Holding myself accountable, but you can't hold yourself accountable if you're a broken person. And remember, I talked about that last week too, being broken. Remember, that's one of the things, not holding yourself accountable is one of the things. Childhood trauma, coming from a broken home, another thing. Remember, those were the things. And people don't realize. But first you have to, for me, not everybody's journey looks different. I had to start building a relationship with God. Like, I really had to start building a relationship with God. And it definitely was not strong when I first started. Like, okay, Camilla, you got to work on yourself. You got things you got to do. I hadn't started doing that, but now that I'm there and I have started doing that, I can really be like, dang, Camilla, you was wrong for how you did this. Regardless of what somebody may have done, you should not have done it. And that's just where I'm at. And I've already said, like, last night was a hard night for me. The devil, when I tell you, he was on me. And I had prayer last night, and I am just, here I go. Y'all know me. Every time I start talking about my church family, I get emotional, just because last night I got on to pray, and God is so good because he always know exactly what's needed in the moment if you are drawing close to him, if you have a relationship with him. And y'all, my Kleenex is still in my garage and my overflow of stuff, and I need it, but I thought I was past this. But anyway, so I hadn't did prayer in a couple of weeks. I think it had been like 2 or 3 weeks. And I was telling my first lady, because she's normally on, and then it's me and one of my other sisters. Us three, we're pretty faithful with being on for the most part. And I told her, I was like, I don't know what has been going on these last 3 weeks. I would know I had to do it, and then it would just be like I would doze off for a little bit, and then I wake up and it's like 7:27 or something, and I'm like, oh, all I can do is Bible study. And that literally happened like 3 weeks in a row. So this time, my friend, my close friend, Andrea, we were on the phone just doing because we work together, but we don't talk. We used to talk every day, all day, but we don't do that anymore. But we do just like a daily check-in with each other, where we pray for each other, send each other prayer and stuff like that. And then we actually call each other and just talk about our day and how things is going and things like that. And she was like, don't forget, you have prayer at 7. I'm like, I'm so glad. She's like, did you set your alarm for your prayer meet? And I'm like, oh, no, I didn't. I forgot. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to pause on what I'm about to say about prayer. I'm going to remember that. But it's so important to have people in your life like that. It's so important because she's holding me accountable. And that's what I talked about yesterday. Like having people in your circle that can help you with things that you need to do. So I get on to prayer, and it's my first lady, and I was telling her that. I'm like, it was just, she was like, yeah, I was wondering where you was at. That's literally what it was, and I just have to really set my alarm for reoccurring. So I know 7 o'clock, get on. So I'm on, and her and I is talking, and the devil is attacking me literally before I got on, and it was happening while I was on. It was just, and she was asking me, we were just talking about our week and our day and how things is going, the normal stuff that you do when you're on a prayer call. And I knew I needed my pastor to pray. And I noticed every time that things have just been out of whack for me, and I didn't even say I didn't say anything was out of whack. I didn't tell her that. I just kept my mind focused on God, which is growth. Because normally when I get on to prayer, or if somebody asks me how's things going, I'm always focused on that negative piece. And but I knew I needed my pastor, and we talked for about, I want to say we talked for like a good 10 minutes, and then let me go get something, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna remember where I'm at, but I gotta clean my face up. I'm just a crybaby. Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. The last time I did this, I actually stopped the camera and did all that and started back recording. I ain't doing all that. I'm just going to keep this thing rolling because y'all know we family up over here, and we very transparent. We ain't trying to be cute. We being real. So this is for all of the people that's walking in their faith, and you're ashamed to cry. You're ashamed to show your emotions. No, don't be ashamed, because that's God cleansing you. That's him cleansing you. So let it come out whenever it needs to come out. But we were just doing our little 10-minute talk, just, talking about life and things. And God and just, our kids and her grandkids, just having conversation. And then we were looked at the time and she was like, well, I'm going to see if the pastor is available to pray for us. And it's crazy because she only did that, I think, one other time, maybe two, but I know definitely this was for 2 times for sure. And it was each time that I really needed his prayers. And so he gets on and he asks the same question, how's everything going? Oh, everything is good. Everything is great. That's what I say, because everything is great. Everything is good. The devil would not get the glory over my life. I have too many great things that's in the lookout for me to be worried about the devil and him trying to attack me, because God has the glory. God has the ultimate glory. He's over all of it. The devil is just somebody that's out to seek revenge on God because of all the goodness that he brings to us. So the devil does not intimidate me, and he can be on me right now because he is as hard as he want to be. But trust me, you don't have the glory over my life. God does. So my pastor gets on. He asks me how everything is great. I'm good. I got things accomplished today for the church. I got things accomplished at work. So I'm here for it all. That's basically what I tell him, and that's how I feel regardless of what else has transpired in my life. It doesn't top over what I'm doing for God and what God is doing for me. Never that. So, and that's how we all need to be. Stop letting the devil attack you and get the glory and take you off of your focus. Your focus is God. Your focus is God, not all of this other stuff, not the worldly stuff, none of that. So he gets on and he's praying and then I'm feeling it, but I'm not feeling it like I'm feeling it today. But God knew I needed my pastor. He knew I needed my pastor. And I'm gonna also say this about my pastor. My pastor is not the pastor that's telling you how you need to move and doing all of this stuff. He's going to pray for you in his home. He might call you and pray, but he's not calling you, asking you about the troubles that you're going to, because he wants you to ultimately take it to God. He is there to assist God when God tells him to, but you have to take your problems to God. Pour your burdens onto him. Yes, your pastor can help you. Yes, your congregation can help you, but the person that can help you the most is God. And I think that's where a lot of us get mixed up at, because we're worshiping our pastors and in the church and all of this, and we don't worship them. We worship God. They're men as well, and they're not perfect. That most pastors, if not all pastors, I'm not going to say most, have made several mistakes as well. But when he prayed, it was a really intense prayer that gave me everything that I needed in that moment. The things that he spoke about was things that I needed to be taken up to God. So I was so grateful for the prayer that he did do. And it allowed me to just kind of musa, breathe again and just let it go. So that's what I'm saying. When the devil's under attack, that don't stray away from God, because that's what he wants you to do. That's when you draw closer to God. Draw closer to him and just continue to pray and asking God to give you what you need in that moment. And don't let nobody tell you. I'm going to be very honest. I don't care if you're selling yourself. If you're a woman that's selling yourself today, but God has he has something for you, don't you let nobody say, well, you out there doing this, that, and the other. How you for God? You can still be for God. God can change that around. We've had several women that have been walking the street, walk through God's doors and make a beautiful transformation. We've had several men who were on drugs and pimping out women who's made a beautiful transformation. We've had several people that are gay and sleeping with man on man and woman on woman who has made a beautiful transformation. So don't let them cast that stone on you. Don't let them judge you. You put up your armor of God and you rebuke that devil, because that's all it is. That's why I say at this time, we really need the armor of God, because the world ain't getting no better. It's getting worse. Put your armor of God up and keep your head held high, and you keep marching and you keep giving God all of the glory and all of the victory, because he's here for it and you are too. Whomever is talking down on you, they're really talking down on themselves. They're not happy within themselves. Anyone who's judgmental of others is not happy within themselves. And you don't have time for that. You don't have time to entertain it. you don't have to go back and forth with them by knocking them down and shooting them down and doing. It's not even worth it. It's not worth it. Let them say whatever it is they have to say. Their opinion does not matter. God's opinion matter. That's whose opinion matter. And that's what people have to stop doing, caring about what other people think. I was scared to do this. I was scared to do YouTube at first just because I don't want people to think I'm being funny. I don't want people to think, man, I'm like, shoot, I don't care. I don't care if at the end of my process with God, I just have 2 people standing with me, if I have 0 people. I don't care. It's all about me having a relationship with God. And I don't care if nobody say my relationship is fake. I don't care if people say, oh, she just trying to. I don't care about none of that. God knows what it is. He knows what it is. And that's all that matters to me. So stop caring what all these people is thinking. Like, it don't matter what others is thinking. I have a couple of meetings today. I was like, I want to throw on some earrings so I look, But I want to talk about that too. We got that out the way. And I also wanted to talk about this. For those of you who have a gift, a calling on you. I have several, by the way. And I don't know if I've actually shared this before or not, but I have several. And they're becoming more and more clear for me. Like, this is definitely one of my gifts, what I'm doing. This is definitely one. Just getting the word out there and getting people comfortable in the world and with my journey. Like, you should be comfortable watching me, because I'm sure y'all can tell, like I say all the time, I'm new to this, not true to this, but God has put it in me to share my journey as I go on it, and God has really placed me. And I don't know, every time I talk about my church, I get all teary-eyed. It's crazy that I do this. And even my mama said it. She's like, you just so emotional. But if anybody who has watched my videos, I don't cry when I'm talking about nothing else. I only cry when I start talking about my church. And I don't think I've ever just said what church I go to and nothing like that on here, because I'm not ready to just do that just yet. I don't even know if I will just be sharing that. But it's not because I'm embarrassed of my church or anything like that. But my ultimate goal is to put it out there when God tells me to. And right now is not the time for me to do that. Unless you just figured it out. Because you figured it out, I'm not going to broadcast it. Because that's my family, and I love them, and I only want people coming that I don't want no harm or anything like that. But I know God got us protected overall, and He's a good God. But I was explaining to someone, I don't know if it was my live or I was talking to somebody else, but I do feel like my church is the soil, right? It's the soil of my life. And I'm the seed, and God had my soil laid there. And I was the seed, just saying, where am I supposed to be planted so I can grow, right? So I was planted in my church soil. My seed got dropped in. My pastor and the other pastors, the assistant pastor and all the other pastors that's there, they're the water. Right, just helping me and everyone else, not just them, because everyone in my church plays a very significant role in my growth and helping me grow. But they're the water, and I'm starting that little seed that I planted is starting to grow even more, and that's what I'm just so grateful for, that I'm where I'm supposed to be so I can grow. Because a lot of times we're at church because they're big, they're beautiful, and are just family goes there. And this literally was a church that I walked into the doors and I knew no one. I had no relationship with anyone. It was just me feeling like I needed to go. And I think that's one of my biggest accomplishments was I was able to walk by faith and not by sight at that time in my life. because I didn't know what I was going into. I didn't even know what the church looked like. I didn't know if it was a big church, small church, if it was in the hood, if it was in a good community. I didn't know anything about this church, right? And it's just like I'm planted there, and I don't see myself going anywhere. What's that song? When I move, you move, just like that. So that's basically the only time I'm going to move is when my church moves, right? But I wanted to just say that I'm just so grateful for God and Him knowing when to just do things. It's so crazy because my pastor even calls at the right time and give me those words of encouragement. And he knows my story. Well, he knows a little bit of my story. But he's never asking, like, you know how some pastors just be trying to dig deep and get into your business? He's not that pastor. So he'll just call and just pray for you, or just tell you that he's proud of you, or just tell you thank you. And some people need that. And I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that need that. And so that's another reason that I say I'm in the right place. And it's not just him. Like I said, the congregation, even the other pastors that see things in me. And one of the pastors I rarely talk to him, but he sees stuff in me. He definitely sees it. And I can just tell by the things that he comes up to me and say, and what he has, some of the sacrifices that he's made for me to just draw closer to God, and how he keeps me, and here comes the tears again, and how he just keeps me motivated to keep pushing and staying encouraged and empowered. And that's why I say it's so important to have a community of people that can push you to be your best spiritually without being judgmental, or without you feeling like you're beneath them. And this is definitely what they do. They and another thing that I love about my pastor is he's not a pastor who takes over the pulpit. Like, he allows his other pastors to preach and do all of that stuff. And I'm just here for it all. I'm here for it to just see everybody grow. And that's what happens in our church. Like this Sunday, it was so crazy because it was so many things that was transformations. And I'm trying to look and catch everything that's going on, but still pay attention to the word. And I'm watching people who normally was sitting in the back, and now they're up and they're doing this stuff. And it's like, look at God. Because when I tell you, my church is going to be doing some big stuff. If y'all don't know us now, y'all will know us. Y'all will know us. We will be known, and we're not going to be known in a bad way. We're going to be known in a great way, and we're going to help God do his work with so many people. And I'm just honored to be a part of this transformation. But yeah, Sunday, I was like, okay. And then he told me that God was ready for me to do some stuff, and he shook me up right there. And I'm like, oh Lord, what is that? What am I about to? But I'm saying all this to say, I also trust the process, because God is telling me to be patient with a lot of stuff. And now that I'm being patient, he's starting to give me a little bit of the stuff that I need, because I was a very impatient person with a lot of things. And God's just telling me to be patient, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay. Next thing I'm going to talk about is, I know all y'all know I ain't married. I don't have a husband. I'm not, well, I'm somebody's wife, but I ain't no wife yet. So with me saying that is, God is preparing me, because I've always known that I was a wife. I was a mother. Like, that was what did I want to do for a living? When they asked that question as a kid, I want to be a mama and a wife. That was what I said. And that's what I love to do. I love to be nurturing. I'm a caring. I love to care for people. I love it. I'm here for it all, right? But I'm not a wife yet. So God definitely, he's always going to come first. And I don't have the husband to put first. So anybody who's like I don't have no husband, so I'm not putting anyone on that husband's pedestal. I can't do that until I actually have a husband, like those things are put into place. But I'm here for it. I know it will happen. I know I still have work to do before that happens. And I'm just here for it. I was married once before, and I was very young. It was to my oldest daughter's dad. I was very young. I wasn't ready for it. We wasn't equally yoked. He was a Jehovah's Witness, and I was a Baptist at the time. So we were just kids trying to do what grown-ups do, and that ended up, of course, not working out. But I'm saying all this to say, if you're not a wife, try not to do all of those wifely duties, because you want that to be as sacred as possible for your marriage. And that's not just, I'm not just talking about being sexually intimate, because you can be intimate in other ways as well. But I'm just talking about in general, the things that we do as a wife, that we're supposed to do as a wife. Like, we don't have to give someone all of that before we are a wife. So be very careful with that. And I wasn't even going to talk about that. God is putting that on my heart right now. But yeah. But yeah, and don't say that like you are a wife, you just haven't found the person that you're meant to be with yet. I think that's how it should be, because you're a wife before you even get married. Like, you know if you're a wife or not. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here and talk to y'all a little bit. I don't stop crying. I guess I don't got it out. But yeah, I love you guys, and I'm just so grateful, and I'm just so grateful to have a family of 105 right now. And let's just keep it going. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's share it out. Let's promote positive things. I know today is going to be a very hard day for a lot of people, because America has spoken, but let's not focus on that too much, because at the end of the day, God is the final verdict, right? He is the president of it all, our God. So regardless of who is in office, it does not matter. And that's why I tell you guys, like, it's important to have a relationship with God right now, and pray, be prayed up, and have your armor of God on at all times. Like, have your armor of God up. He is the shield for all of this chaos that's about to go on in the world, that's already going on in the world. And just stay prayed up and protect your family. Be extra cautious about how you do things, you know, moving forward, especially for a while, because people are going to have a lot of hurt and anger in their heart with the way the polls went and how it went. But if you are a Christian, just keep praying to God, and He has you covered. And y'all know what I always say: travel down God's road, and it'll be the easiest way. Sometimes it's not a shortcut for you, but it will at the end of the day be the best thing for you. I love you, Camila Squad, and everybody have a blessed day. God bless you. And I love each and every one of y'all again.
No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours.